I'm going to be talking about the Photo+Journaling project that I am starting today, and that anyone who wants to is welcome to join in. Make sure I have all my things. I think I do. Um, I hope you can hear me just fine. If you hear background noise, it's because other people live in this house and they are here at home. So, there's not anything I can really do about it. So hopefully it doesn't get too noisy. Um, yeah. My name's Delisa. I'm the creative heretic. I am on Substack. My Substack publication is called Relevation. I can't even speak today. Isn't that terrible? You try to get going and then your words just don't want to come out. I run the Revelations from a Creative Heretic here on Substack. That's what I was trying to say. And today we're talking about bringing photography and journaling together. Um, I am starting a project this year. It's going to run the whole entire year. It's one prompt per month. It'll run from today and then into January of 2027. So it'll be a whole year in that way. I don't like starting a lot of things in January, but that's what we're doing with this. I have a bucket of random words that I will draw from for the prompt. Um, the goal is to use that one word prompt in your photography. You can interpret that word in any way that you want to inspire the photo that you take. Oh my gosh, my screen is trying to go dark. Um, and then write a little journal entry for that photo and that prompt. I am going to be doing it in my art journal. So I'll also talk about ways to do that in a paper journal, or if you need ideas for how to do it digitally, because, not everyone can print out their photos. Okay. So first, let's draw our word, because I'm really excited to see what the word for this month is going to be. And if you have any questions at any point, please put them into the chat and I will get to them. Let's shake this around a little bit. And so I have like over 30 words in here. So we'll have plenty of words to go for the whole year. So our first word for the first prompt for January is shine. And I'll type that over into the chat over here. So when anybody comes in, they will be able to see that. Yeah, so just a single word for photography and journaling. I almost put that back in the bucket. I don't want to put that back in the bucket. So that's a really good word to start out with, I think, because there's so many different ways you can think of the word shine. Get creative with it. Try out different things. Be abstract with it. Whatever you want to do and fits with your photography style. I use a little HP Sprocket printer to print my photos, and they look like this if you print on there. And I also have a Canon selfie printer, and you can print out photos in there. You can print out big photos, or you can make photo collages with it if you want to. Hello, Edward. Welcome to the live. We are discussing photography and journaling and bringing our photography and journaling together today. Um, so, this is kind of what I'm talking about when I say photography and journaling. Here's some photos from a concert that I went to, and then um, I wrote down things about that day. Uh, I also have, let's see, what are my other ones? Uh, Photos that I printed out from testing cameras. This is when I tested out a vintage camera and stuff like that. If my screen goes dark, I'm I'm trying to prevent it to doing that. So I apologize in advance if it does uh dip down for a little bit. And I also use it for photographing uh for keeping track of photos that I take on hikes and my travels and stuff. Um, I really like doing pages like this where you have the photo, some writing. I've got some sketches that I've done. Um, I know it's pretty normal for some photographers when they bring photos and journaling together. A lot of the time, they are using it as a way to track their photography progress and note down what settings they used or what film they used and their lens and their camera and all that good kind of information, which is really good to do that. But for this project, I'm going to encourage everyone to take that a little bit farther and do something a little bit more. Here's like a page from a trip to the ocean we went to. Um, so Uh, if those of you are just coming in, the prompt for this month is over in the chat. The single word prompt is shine, and it is over there in the chat. Um, and if you have any questions about bringing photography and journaling together, put them over in the chat. Okay. Uh, so for my project this year for this journaling, I will be using this physical journal to put my stuff in. Um, this particular one is from a company called Mellow Days, and they are in France. And unfortunately, that can make their their journals can be a little bit difficult to get to. I will put the link over. I'm not an affiliate or anything like that, but um, I like their journals because this is the traveler notebook size, which I like because I use the traveler's notebook cover. Um, and I like having the hardcover books instead of the inserts. But these have watercolor paper in them, which I like over just plain regular paper for doing art journaling stuff. Okay. Um, if you would like to do it digitally instead of on paper, because like I said, not everybody has access to a printer to be able to print out their photos. I do encourage printing out your photos if you can, whether it's on a mini printer like an HP Sprocket. Canon has some little tiny ones. Polaroid makes some little tiny ones. There's the little mini label printers that you can use, and it's just black and white. And, it's not professional quality, but they're still totally perfect for in your journal. Um, your journal is not about being perfect. It's about creating a space for you to express yourself. Oh, yeah, I haven't tried one of those. I have the HP Sprocket, and it's been a little while since I bought a pack, and I think you get, like, a pack of, like you can print 10 little photos, and, yeah, it is a little spendy. Um, I do have the Canon Selfie, which you can also use. What the price comes out to be I couldn't tell you. I've never, like, figured out the price per print for it. Um, you can also take your, uh make a PDF, like a Canva layout with the photos you want to use, like, go down to Staples or your local library and just have it printed out on a regular piece of paper, just so you have something that you can stick in your journal if you're using a paper journal. Um, if you don't have any way for printing out your photos, you can do this digitally in any program that allows you to have photos and words together. So, Canva, Procreate, you could do it in something like Notion, um, Good Notes, Note Self, any kind of, Photoshop, Affinity, anything like that in design that lets you put your photos and text together. And when you're, excuse me, I need to get a drink. When you are writing down the text for your photo, um, just take it a little farther beyond than just recording the data about the photo or what you did to create that photo, and write about what the prompt means to you, what inspired you to interpret the prompt in this way. How does that photo make you feel? What does it make you think of? All that kind of good stuff. Mm, goodness. That's a lot of talking for me. Um, something you could do digitally with Canva is you can create your own little photo book in Canva and just add to that layout all year long with each and every prompt, and then at the end of the year, um, turn that into a PDF that you can keep and save, or use, a printer like, Mixam or something like that to print it out and have a physical copy of your journal that you created. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Yeah, the printing out your own little prints on the mini printers can get kind of expensive. I do like the small ones, like the HP Sprocket and stuff like that, because you can get um, sticker paper that goes in them, so you can just peel and stick your photos into your journal instead of trying to tape or glue them down. But how you do your journaling is completely up to you. It's a space to relax, have fun, uh, put your thoughts and whatever onto the page, um, without really worrying about how pretty or how perfect your photos are or your journaling or your handwriting is. Um, with these prompts, some of them may seem like they're a very good fit to take photos of scenic things, of pretty things, um, but some of them might not, and, it is, since this is only for you, it is totally okay to take photos of messy things, of imperfect things, of, you know, mm, broken things around your house or your dirty dishes or whatever. The prompts are for you to interpret in any way that you want. Gosh, it hasn't even been, well, it's been almost 15 minutes. I'm not really good at like filling in time. Um, does anybody have questions about notebooks, journaling tools, any kind of thing like that. Okay. And just a reminder, this month's prompt is shine, and we're only doing one prompt per month. So you have the whole month to take a photo of something inspired by the word shine and journal about it. And you absolutely do not have to share your journaling with anyone. And unless you want to, I will be starting a chat thread for this journal project, and everyone is welcome to join into that chat thread to ask any questions, share anything that they want to share. As far as notebooks go, you can use any kind of notebook. It doesn't have to be like, this is fancy. This one's fancy because it's my art journal, but you can use anything. You could like, this is like a $2 composition notebook with just like regular lined paper in it. Um, Anything that you can stick your photos in, with glue or tape. You can, use acid-free glues and tapes to help protect your photos if you want to do that. And, anything that you could just write with a regular pen. You don't have to have fancy markers or any kind of art supplies that you don't want to. You can make this as basic and simple as you want or as fancy as you want. I do a little bit of a mix of both because I do like to take um, my watercolor paints and uh, paint backgrounds onto my pages before I write on them or put my photos down. But that's just a perfect personal preference. It is not a requirement. Yeah, just a plain, basic notebook is fine. Um, if you want something that has a better quality paper and is a little sturdier, you can get a moleskin. Um, was that the Lech term? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Um, if you order off of Amazon, they have journals. I wish I would have grabbed it and had it sitting here by me, but that's like an Amazon Basics. That's kind of like a knockoff version of the moleskins, and they have a pretty decent paper quality in it, and are hardcover books that hold up pretty well. Does that cover your question, Joseph? Excuse me. I figure that if I keep doing enough of these lives that I will get used to talking enough that it won't irritate my throat so much. We'll see. Um, yeah. So like I said, you could be as basic and as fancy if you want as you want to be. Um, okay, good. Reach over here and grab this. I get these tapes, and these are the refills. It comes with you can get a little dispenser, and these are double-sided tape. Um, and I use these to stick in my photos that I have not printed on sticker paper. Are there any other questions? I do look forward to seeing everyone join in the chat if they feel like it. And, talking about our journals and stuff. Like I said, you don't have to actually share what you put in your journal with anyone if you don't want to. Um, but I do encourage everyone to come and join in the chat thread that I will be putting together for this, because that will be a great place to ask extra questions. If you think of something later, um, or if you get stuck on something, or just want to talk about the experience you had going out and photographing something for the prompt. So each month there will be one of these lives, maybe. That seems like a lot of lives. Probably a live, so we can come on, get the next prompt, chat about what we're doing, and then there will also be a chat thread for everybody to join in if they would like to for each prompt. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Um, uh, really whatever size makes you feel comfortable. So, like, this one is a traveler's notebook size, so it's like, what are these? It's not quite the half size. This is like 4 point some inches by like 7 something, because it's a very long, narrow size. Um, a lot of journals come in. I wish should have wrapped all my journals. Um, this size, like an A5 size like this. Um, if you're carrying it around, you can get like the small, um, like little pocket size ones if you want something that you can easily shove in your camera bag or whatever. Um, so yeah, it's personal preference. This is this is like a folded sheet of paper, like a little bit larger than a folded sheet of paper. Yeah, this is 9.75 by 7.5 inches. So, I mean, this is pretty big to me. But if you want to print out like 4 by 5 or 4 by 6 size photos, um, I think that's what the selfie makes, a 4 by 6 size photo, the Canon selfie. So, like, if you're printing out, like, a standard size photo and you want to be able to stick the whole photo in your journal, then pick a journal that's big enough to hold the whole photo. And because you can, put your photo on one page and then journal on the other page if you're using a larger size print. Um, if you're doing something like the HP sprockets and the little mini printer sizes, then, you're getting these little tiny, these are like, I think this is like 2 inches, 3 inches, something like that. So you're getting little tiny ones, and then you can put those on your page and have some room for writing. Um, yeah, so just think about, if you're gonna be carrying it with you, in your pocket or in your camera bag, or if you're only going to be using it, writing down your journaling while you're at home and not taking it anywhere with you, um, and what size of photo you're gonna want to print out to put it in. I hope that helps, Joseph. Um, then they have so many different kinds of journals and notebooks available at the store. You can go to, if you don't like ordering online, whatever, you can get, um, something from Walmart or Target or the grocery store if they have a little tiny stationery section. Um, yeah, does not have to be fancy. I find it's really important to uh, remove as many barriers as possible to this process so you have fewer reasons to be like, uh, to avoid doing it. So you can't be like, well, I don't have this specific kind of journal, and that doesn't matter. You can use just a plain spiral bound notebook. Um, or I don't have a printer thing that that's fine. Um, Especially if you are going to try and do it digitally, that opens like a whole lot more possibilities. But if you can, if it's accessible to you, I do encourage to find some way of using a physical paper journal, or at least at the end of the year when you have completed the whole project, or however long you want to carry it on for, you have um, some something that you can take from digital and get it printed out, like at MPix or printed out at Staples. That's totally fine. Just so you can have something physical to hold in your hands at the end and look at all the wonderful things that you did over the year. Okay, are there any more questions? We're coming up on 30 minutes, so gonna want to wrap this up. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put that in the chat for this live. I will be starting a Substack chat thread for this project with the prompt. You can join in with that chat and ask more questions or share anything that you want to share or whatever for this month and for the rest of the year. Okay, and thank you all for being here and joining in. And I hope you join me on this photography and journaling adventure this year. I think it's going to be a really good way to explore our photography and look at our world a little bit differently. Okay. So thank you guys for coming. I'm going to wrap this up. And this video will be shared onto my Substack later if you need a rewatch or anything. All right. Thank you so much for being here.